What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and I am back today with another video for you all. Just a heads up, you guys, this is a continuation video from the part 1 series that was hosted by Beyond the Tube. So what happened is a little background for you guys. We both worked on a legendary farming guide for the newer players and beginners out there, just to kind of create a reference point. So I am going to just reference that in the description below here, but I do recommend you guys watching part 1 before we dive into part 2 here, just because of that fact that you'll get that background information of why we started on phase 4 in this video. So without further ado, here we go. Here's the part 2 of the video.
Guide. And next stop, we're going to move into phase 4 here, and this is personally one of my favorites, and I believe this is one of your first legendary teams as well, especially with how early access you had these guys. I think when you were starting out, I know I was following your channel and I saw that you had farmed these guys up pretty fast, and that is the Asgardians. We got Hela, we got Loki, we got Thor, we got Heimdall, and we got Sif in there. And take it away for us, Ray.
Beautiful. Thanks for letting me do this. This is actually probably my most favorite team because, honestly speaking, I actually pretty much built these guys around the same time I got my Guardians of the Galaxy, which means, man, the Guardians for me was just basically useless. These guys just came out of the blue, completely dominated for me in terms of getting my arena rank up, dominating my blitz for autos, raids. They were my go-to. Additionally, it was also the reason I actually started YouTube. You know, I saw I was able to get to Hela through using a 120k AIM team that got me through the first 3 nodes, and then utilizing a mixture of a Brotherhood, villains, cosmic team. So if you guys haven't already, we'll put some links in the description below, but definitely that's the reason I started YouTube in the first place, just to help players out there. This team already being as good as it is, ultimately unlocking arguably the most offensive juggernaut legendary in the game, Black Bolt, who ultimately also achieves unlocking Ebony Maw as a legendary. So I mean, like, not enough things can be said about the synergy of this team. They're just top 5 in almost every ranking in the game. And if you guys can get your hands on Asgardians, following the Brotherhood, even before, I think this is going to be a huge addition and value to your guys' roster. This completely changed my roster when I got these 5.
Absolutely one of my favorite teams as well, and I think when these guys were first released, my goodness, these guys on war defense were an absolute nightmare. Like, Hela just keeps summoning Greg, and then you would just keep knocking Greg and just healing everybody, and it was just until they came up with some pretty good counters. These guys were the absolute best. And why would you bother spending resources on other teams like Guardians if you can jump right to the good stuff? So this is a team that we've already got Thor from the Avengers, and guess what? You're working on Hela and you're working on Loki. Those are 2 pieces we're going to need later on in this venture. So if there's nothing else to add there, Rage, I think we're going to move on to the next phase. So next batch, we're still in phase 4, and I've kind of lumped these guys in because you do need pieces of the Asgardians, and this will bring in, you know, obviously when you get the Asgardians, you're going to get Black Bolt, and with Black Bolt, that brings in the Inhumans. So we've got Quake, we've got Karnak there, we got Miss Marvel, we got Crystal, and then we got Yo-Yo, who's on premium. You can't really farm her. And then obviously Black Bolt, and this will get you guys Ebony Maw, who is, I would say, probably in my list of top 3 legendaries in the game. But again, with Ebony Maw, he's going to form a key piece of the Black Order team, and he also dominates in all the respective game modes. We've got him, you know, utilized in Ultimate 7. We've got him utilized in Blitz, in War, in Arena, and not to mention if you're doing the PvP battles, everyone always picks him because he's a direct counter to Phoenix, and either you're banning him or you're quick picking him. So one or the other.
I want to point out with the Doom changes too. Quake was normally, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe she was available in Arena with Crystal. That kind of worked against each other, counterintuitive, but the fact that she is temporarily now placed into the Herald's campaign 6 especially, definitely reachable for those mid-game players right now. Take advantage of her node, you guys, because not every day that she's going to be available there. I'm expecting that they'll probably place her back into the Arena store when this update ends.
So you've also got the other 3 you can farm as well. We've got the last one, and we'll call this phase 5 or the last phase, and you're probably wondering, wait a sec. We're already at the end. I mean, holy cow! I thought we were just getting started. Well, no, we'll get it.
By the way, this is very accurate. I am 9 months in the game. and I am still like 100 plus shards on Nobu, 100 on Assassin. I'm 50 or 60 away from Hela, so I mean, like, this is really accurate still. Unbelievably how difficult it is to get Phoenix at 6 stars.
The amazing thing is, I just got my Hela to, like, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I got her to 6 stars, and
what I'm currently using out of that 6, you know, I think most people can relate, is probably going to be the first 4 there, you know, Nobu, Hela, Loki, obviously Assassin, and then last but not least, it's going to be Mordo, just because Mordo's so easily available, and you know, he's a character that adds a lot of value. You know, he's going to be able to assist, especially beginning players getting through that Hero 7. He's one of those main cosmic controllers that can assist in that villains campaign.
I think he's very underappreciated. Yeah. He's one of the best characters in the game, I find, in terms of, like, if you've got that stun, T Ford, his second ability, his special, he could pretty much have a turn 1 stun, and he's actually been one of my my dark horses that I use in the verse battles. Most people are probably like, why did this guy pick Mordu? Like, this guy is a weirdo. And then all of a sudden, I've got Hela spreading all the blinds. So I still think she is better than every single legendary in the game. You put her one-on-one with anybody, and she's going to win because she has that second mode. She can go into her dark, you summon, which is obviously Dark Phoenix Ants, and you get her unlocked. You can come back to me, and you can say, hey, Az, wow, she is... Yeah. She's good. She's really good. I mean, you've seen my videos, and you've seen how she can just go with Colossus, and you can put her in any team in Blitz, and you can just hit the auto, and you're gonna win, like, every single time. Especially if you got a 7 red Phoenix, that's gonna do a dent. You know, anytime I'm in Ultimus, I throw her in there, and it does the biggest punch you can imagine. Arena teams, I can go head to head with the Black Order teams, no problem. Even with the ISO 8 upgrades, I can go against a Black Order team, and they've got decked out ISO 8 level 5s or 4s or whatever. Handles them no problem because she can just wipe the floor. It's that increase, I think it's like 100% focus, 100,000% focus.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal.
Rips.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
It just rips.
But yeah, that's that definitely, I definitely agree with you. Phase 5, definitely, this is gonna be the final stage for, I think, a lot of people nearing that end game stage, and then following that, you guys, we did make a list here real quick here of just the legendaries we haven't really talked about, and in terms of why they haven't been included in this phase listing, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah, we've got the other legendaries now here, and yeah, you can take it away, Rage. You can talk about why, for example, Nick Fury. Like, why didn't we put him on the list?
I'm just gonna, yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, just because my experience is more relevant than yours. I mean, this is probably a long time ago for you, but I'm gonna quickly rip through this, just time sensitivity as well. But you know, this is gonna be quick. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time as well. But Nick Fury here, you know, honestly, there's just too many investments in different characters, as you've noted, and the other thing too is he's not utilized in a lot of modes now. You know, unfortunately, he has become quite obsolete, and the fact that you have to farm so many different nodes for one legendary that's not obviously game changing, it's honestly just not worth it. And Nick Fury used to have a place back in the day, and honestly, I'm not saying don't go for him, but he's not on the priority list in terms of what we've outlined in terms of phasing, right? I've actually gotten every legendary that you've noted in the phases, with the exception of Phoenix. So now I'm finally going to start working on Nick Fury because I'm so close already. You bet I'm going to get him in the next offering. That brings me to the next legendary, Star-Lord. You know, me and Az, we've already talked it over and over non-stop about Star-Lord here. Just doesn't have the impact that the other legendaries have. You know, like, compare yourself to getting Shuri Invisible Woman versus Star-Lord, who potentially can't even be utilized in Dark Dimension 3, whereas the other two can be Dark Dimension 3 and probably Dark Dimension 4. That brings us to our conclusion, right? You know, that's why Star-Lord would be included in the same category as Nick Fury if you don't have the just time and investment capabilities. Bringing us to our last legendary, you guys, in the game. This would be Doc Ock, you know, relatively new to the game, and that's honestly the main reason he's on here. If it was any other time where we had more access to those 5 initial X-Force characters, I would, you know, he would probably be inserted into one of those phases. But just due to where we are right now with the opportunities where we're not sure how this is going to be farmed going forward, following changes and updates. One of the most difficult teams right now, just because Negasonic is so deep into the Doom campaign. Cable is available, but obviously you still have to work for it. Thankfully, not too hard. And then Deadpool is available in the arena store, so that's going to be conflicting with those earlier phases. But definitely readily available. X23, she's going to be really new for a lot of people, just because she's the most recent addition to the War Store. That being said, Doc Ock's impact to the game is still pretty new, and we still need to test out what his capabilities will likely be in Dark Dimension 2 and 3. But him being the newest City Hero Legendary, it's going to be City Villain Legendary. It's going to be interesting how that's going to be integrated going forward. But with that said, that's strongly why we believe he should be also included as a mention, but not as part of the phase. Anything you'd like to add, As?
Yeah, like you already mentioned, like he just doesn't make that much of an impact compared to the other ones we've mentioned. Like if you're comparing him with even Shuri or Invisible Woman, where you can just slot them in, yeah, fine. You can get Doc Ock, you can slot him in as well. He's got some pretty nice abilities and some pretty nice summons, but the problem is if you're farming these guys early on, you're not going to be going for X23 in the War Store. You're not going to be in the Blitz Store or whatever. You get Domino through the Blitz Orbs, but you're not going to be going like Negasonic and Domino and Cable and all these guys. They're not going to slot in well into other teams, right? They form their own team and a war team, and it's great later on when you're an end game player, but it doesn't help you guys much early on. You want teams that are going to mesh well into the mid end. All right, guys, so I hope this gives you guys an idea of this is what we would be going for, and this is our laid out map here on the process of if you guys had to start from day zero and you had to farm your legendaries. This is the approach we would go for, and we're probably gonna get some bashful comments about, hey, I don't know if this is the best way, but hey, it's all constructive feedback, and this is the guide that we've come out with. If you guys can smash a like, that'll be awesome. Other than that, guys, please feel free to put your comments below. And I just want to thank you again for having Rage here featured on the channel here. It's great to have some of that newcomer experience meshing in with my long veteran experience in the game, and it's also great that we're both free-to-play players, so you guys can see what it's like to be a free-to-play player in that aspect.
Exactly. Thanks again so much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate being on the show. It's been a great experience, As. Definitely, I'm looking forward to working on future videos with you. With that being said, you guys, we hope you have a great rest of the day, and thanks again
guys,
for watching.
and as always, happy gaming.